Okay, so this is actually some good news since a very long time. It kind of feels like we entered this era where we just have absolutely no updates, but we don't really mind because 2.2 is just so big that we just don't really think about updates anymore. But believe it or not, a new update is actually coming to Geometry Dash, and it's so fire to finally be in this phase again where we kind of wait for an update or see what's gonna come next to this game, because then again this game it's in our hearts. So let's look at a bunch of things that indicate that a new update is indeed approaching. Now what that update is, and if it's 2.21 or 2.208 or whatever you want to call it, we're going to discuss, and we're going to take a look at some of the evidence and stuff. So let's just get straight into it. So, in case you guys forgot, but there has been these two gauntlets, the NCS gauntlets. So if we go to the Geometry Dash Steam page on Steam database, we can see the latest update. So this is basically a list of every single update that has ever happened to GD. And we can see 2.2 is right here. What? It's almost been 2 years, bro. Time is flying. All right, so the last update we've had is 11 months ago, less than a month, and it's already going to be a year ago. So you guys can see that here we had an update on June 1st, 2024. And if we go to RobTop's Twitter, we can see that he posted a June 1st on his Twitter account, and he showed that there's going to be some kind of update, right? And that came with this gauntlet right here. And this is where our point comes, because you guys can see that he announced an update and then he made the NCS gauntlets after it came out. Reason being is, in order for us to actually have the gauntlet inside the game, we need to have the game files for it. So for example, this is ripped straight from Geometry Dash files, and you guys can see that the NCS gauntlet is indeed here and also up here. So that we have this, it means that now RobTop can basically do the code on the servers and we can get the gauntlet in game for all of us. But if we don't have this, that means he has to add it. And what do you know? Some of you might remember this, but there is a random gauntlet contest. There has been the space, but both of them have already been released. And this is what we're going to be expecting from the random gauntlet contest. There's going to be a random gauntlet and a chance gauntlet. And you guys will see, if you go all the way to the end, you can see that the deadline is November 16th, 2025. So what that means is RobTop has until November 16th to update the game and include the random and the chance gauntlet sprites into our game. And I believe we can see them in here. Yep, this is the... I honestly have to admit though, I don't know why, but this is just... What is this art, bro? Isn't this like literally just this, but with a bit of removal and there's an icon in the middle? Or am I tripping? And the other one is literally just the NCS with the icon on it, with the cube. What the heck? Check that out. It's almost the same. I don't really like it when that happens. It's like, you know, just a cube has been placed there, but whatever, what matters? I mean, we don't have the chance gauntlet, but on the 16th. Now, some people might say, well, the deadline is on the 16th. That means they are going to release who won on the 16th. But then somewhere around that time is where the gauntlet should be released, right? Because RobTop, we have seen that he uploads the winners as well. You guys can see here the Geometry Dash Awards, the winners got posted in a video. Might see the gauntlet contest results in a video as well, but yeah, we're waiting. And now it's officially less than a month. Now, the update that RobTop has been working on for a year now. It's been a whole year since we got a new update. And I believe the last update we got the event level feature unlocked. So, do I think this is going to be the 2.21 update alongside the map? And I don't think Versus is going to be included anyway. But what's very, very, very important is that is there going to be a floor tower 2? A floor 2 of the tower, I mean. And we can't exactly exactly know the answer to this, but we can take a look at what happened when RobTop was really inactive back when 2.2 wasn't even released yet. Back then, every time he went silent for a long time, then we got like a crazy news. Like when the sneak peek came out, the very first one of Dash, that blew our minds back then. If you take a look at the past few months of the sneak peek releasing, you could see RobTop was very inactive on Discord, and this is exactly the case now. He has not been active on Discord since June. That's been like 4 months now, and 11 months, almost 12 months with absolutely no updates. So that means he indeed is cooking. Or another speculation might be is that he's just taking like a half a year or 6 months off where he just chills, which honestly I wouldn't really be upset about or, you know, judge him for it, because let's be real, 2.2 has so much content, it's absolutely insane. However, one thing I think that would be pretty cool to add is, you know, the ability for us to select an event that would happen on the keyboard. So if somebody clicks W on their keyboard, or if he clicks S, D, and so much and so forth. And another thing that would be awesome is if we could have buttons inside the editor and the mouse cursor would be interactable with those buttons when you play the game. How hype would that be? So adding something like this would absolutely change GD forever, especially platformer mode, because you could have so many mini games. But aside from that, I kind of feel like the game is at a state where it's just really stable and it works really nice. Still, you know, maintenance here and there is of course necessary, and RobTop just has ideas. That's one thing I found about RobTop. He just has ideas no matter where he goes. If you gave him 2.6, he will still add ideas to it, which is mind-blowing to me. But it's pretty cool. And following the inactivity, we could say he was inactive, just, you know, chilling after having this massive, you know, work and developing the Geometry Dash 2.2 and, you know, patching it a few times, and now he can finally take a time off, which could be understandable. But he did say prior to 2.2 coming out that he had already started working on the floor 2 of the tower. So as soon as 2.2 released, he actually had some concepts at least, or some, you know, levels started for the second floor already. So I really would not be too surprised if we got it, but I will be very excited. I think the chances of that happening is pretty much like a 50-50, because, you know, going silent for a whole year, you know, like four more levels. What do you guys think? Is it gonna have 4 levels or 5 or maybe 3? We don't really know, because the thing might look different, and we're gonna have another story, which is gonna be pretty cool. So I'm really looking forward for that, and I really hope it is. Now, is it the map though? 2.2 one is a heavy one, because explorers and stuff, you know, we did get like a full-on flip and copy of the level, literally the entire thing with the boss fight. Never mind, it's not there. Yeah, there's also some things I want to talk about with like the differences that happen, because there are some there's something very interesting I spotted about this level that I'm not gonna say right now, but it indicates that Explorers is very far into getting finished. Now remember, this is 6 months ago, so yeah, you know, I don't want to hype you guys up too much, but we're gonna see what's gonna happen in the next few days. The map though, I do not think it's going to contain the map. Reasons being is I believe the GD community still is not fully ready for platformer levels. What that means is, of course, we are ready to play platformer levels, but we're not quite ready to make good platformer levels, because the map, I believe, is going to be like the Gauntlet. So the level outer space is here, made by this guy, and it's just in the game. It will never be changed, right? So everybody that joins the game clicks here, and there we go. He has his level. And if this level would have been terrible, then it's not very good. And it took us, like, when was this released? 8 years ago. So it took us like 4 years being into GD until we came up with a level like this. Like, we had a lot of experience with classic mode, right? But platformer mode is completely new, which is why you can see so many levels are they're just not really it. They're just, you know, they're cool levels. I'm not hating on platform. I think platformer is pretty cool, especially this one. This one is pretty fire. But all in all, we're not completely ready. We still need a few years until we really understand how to make a proper platformer level that is cool and whatnot. Except if RobTop was just expecting the map levels to be just like the towers. Some very simple stuff, you know, nothing too crazy going on. And we already have a lot of levels like that, especially from Scene, because he makes some fire stuff. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I love his levels. Very RobTop-like. So something like this could be in the tower, could be in the map. And the reason why I'm saying that it's all user platform levels is because it literally says it here. User platform levels. So it's not going to be RobTop levels. It's going to be our levels, just like the Gauntlet. It's not going to look like the Gauntlet. It's going to be a literal map. And it's going to have demon towers, many unlocks, and secrets. The last two pretty much mean nothing because it's very vague. You can't really know what it is. But you can see the background here, exactly how it's going to look like. So I imagine there's going to be like levels here. You have to beat the first in order to unlock the second and so on. It's going to be a big map. It's going to be very, very cool. But again, I don't think we have enough levels to put into here. Unless RobTop is, you know, working with a bunch of creators, if you know what I'm talking about. And he's working behind the scenes on getting a few platformer levels for the map specifically, which, you know, could be like an ice themed, a couple of levels that are especially ice themed, just to have them in the map. That could also be a possibility, but we can't really know as of right now. But I would say it's unlikely that we're gonna get the map this year. However, I think a tower floor 2 is very likely, and another thing that's likely is a geometry dash, a new one. But I don't want to talk about that too much because it's spoiling stuff, and I think we've already spoiled so much about this video, so we better put an end to this, otherwise RobTop is going to be putting an end to me. So, conclusion. We have a cool update that's coming soon. It's been 11 months since we had an update, and RobTop has been cooking, and he has to release an update because there's going to be a Gauntlet sprite that we still don't have, and that Gauntlet contest is ending on November 16th. So yeah, very much looking forward for that. I will probably be streaming the update, and if there's any news, Discord stuff, any of that stuff, I'm going to be on there to let you guys know, and I will see you guys in the next video. Also, watch the videos that are on the screen right now. I guess you guys are going to love them, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Do you guys think the tower is going to be in there, the map? I don't know.